and welcome to Faces of Family Law. Today we're so excited to introduce you to Belinda Lazzara. She's on the Executive Council. She's been a member of Family Law for the Family Law section for a long time and has served on almost every committee there is in the Family Law section. And welcome, Belinda.
Thank you, Julie. Thanks for inviting me to participate.
Absolutely. So tell us about your firm, where you're located, and what your practice area is.
Sure. We're in St. Petersburg. There are 7 family law attorneys in our firm, almost exclusively dedicated to the practice of family law in the 6th Judicial Circuit, which is Pinellas, St. Petersburg and Clearwater, and Pasco counties. And then we also will periodically go to Hillsborough, greater Tampa Bay area, and now more in Manatee and Sarasota counties. So kind of both sides of the bridge in the greater Tampa Bay area.
Wonderful. And how long have you been practicing law?
I've been practicing law for going on my 22nd year now, almost all of which has been dedicated to family law. So long time in family law.
Awesome. In your role on the Executive Council, what are you focusing on this year during your term?
So this year I am focusing almost exclusively, like your guest last week, on legislation. Beth, Luna, and I are co-secretaries of the Legislation Committee, which is enough of involvement for one person for 1 year, because the Legislative Committee is extremely active. It's a working committee. You know what you're signing up for, and then you don't know what you're signing up for, because there's so much that you can't control in legislation. And the committee not only promotes the interests of the section, but also is very active in assisting other sections in their drafting of legislation to the extent that it impacts Florida's families, assists with bill drafting, technical assistance, very active with the lobbyists in assisting the legislators with questions. And so it's really a fun, hardworking committee, and that's what I'm focusing on this year.
That sounds like you have a great co-chair as well.
I do. He's great.
So you've been involved, as I said, in many committees throughout your involvement with the family law section. What advice would you give someone who's considering serving on a committee?
That's a great question, because the answer is different now than it would have been, a year ago with COVID. Now that we don't have in-person meetings, there's a real opportunity, I think, for people who haven't historically gotten involved to get involved, because everything's virtual. So there's much less of a financial and time commitment than historically has been required. So people can attend more things. They can attend with less commitment. So what I would tell anybody who's interested in getting involved, or thinks they might be interested in getting involved, is to go to the website, to the Family Law section website, which is familylawflorida.org, and look at the various committees that are out there. There are operational committees, there are substantive committees, and then there are ad hoc committees, which are kind of like hot topics that we're working on now. And find out who the chair is of that committee and reach out to them. Put a name with a voice, then put a face with a name, and just show up. If you show up regularly and you're interested in something, you'll continue to show up, and then you'll start to be given more opportunities to be involved. And then once we get back to face-to-face meetings, which is going to happen hopefully sooner rather than later, then everybody can start to put actual physical faces with names and make those connections. So I think now, to the extent that you don't have to invest in the hotel and invest in the transportation and invest in being away from your family and office, there's just so many opportunities to get involved now by reaching out to the chair of the committee, expressing your interest, asking how you can get involved, and going from there.
That's great advice, and I'm sure it's served you well over the years as well. So a lot of connections you can make through the section.
The willingness to serve, they'll take your involvement if you're willing to do it. Yes.
Finally, Belinda, tell us one thing that people may not know about you.
So I think COVID has magnified this, so probably no one knows to the extent that it's become a part of my life. But during COVID, my family and I are very, very avid water sports people. So with, we are always water skiing, we're always wakeboarding. We've added an e-flight surfboard, which is an electric surfboard with a handheld wrist control foil board. But my family and I were always on the water, more so now than ever, paddle boarding. So I don't know that anyone knows to the extent that it's gotten way out of control during COVID. But you can't find us or my family. We're out on the water doing something.
What a great family thing to do together. An electric surfboard? That's super cool.
It's pretty neat.
Oh my
I'll send you a video.
That sounds like so much. Yes, we'll add that to the end of the and here she is doing it. Belinda, thank you so much for making time. I know you're super busy, and we really appreciate you sharing your insight with our members. And thanks for all you do for this section.
Thank you. Likewise. Thanks.